Hey guys, today I want to talk about this is a kind of a pretty interesting matchup. It's a ranked team league game. We've got three members of an NGS team on the blue side, as well as two that are filling in, one that might end up joining the team, and then and they just hopped into team league to kind of see what was going on. And it's a really interesting game. I helped them do the draft, and the whole purpose of this draft was kind of a press R to win draft, where Hanzo gets a long range stun that can follow up by a mosh pit, they could follow up by a leap, they could follow up by a Twilight Dream, or if Hanzo's not in the area to do that, then you have a ley line that could be followed up by a mosh pit, that could be followed up by a Twilight Dream, that could be followed up by a leap. Either way, there's a lot of ways to start this, and on this particular map, every objective puts people into clustered areas, which means that this team comp is pretty much a free win on this map, unless the team has like Ethereal to Sanctification or Blaze Debunker, which they don't have a Blaze or Ethereal, so essentially this is a free win as long as the mechanics are played correctly. So I wanted to show this game and kind of explain specific people and what they could be doing differently, and hopefully everyone else can learn from this as well, and we'll kind of go from there. So the first thing that gets me a little bit is the builds. So the four how this is going to work is the top lane is going to solo, and then we're going to have a 4 that's going to roam from probably mid to bot. So they need really high wave clear. If not, we're going to need 2 different solo laners, and then we're going to need 3 that are mid lane that will roam. So the best bet really is we're going to need high mobility from Medivh, which means that he's probably going to need to get his the increased movement speed. Our solo laner is going to be Sonya, which most likely against a either an Alarak or a Tychus. And you wouldn't want to risk getting tough as nails against either of them, so it's either going to be Warpaint or Furious Blow. And then the rest of the comp, again, we just need some wave clear. I usually recommend the Q build. It increases the damage that you do with Q, it increases the range, which allows you to poke easier with your Q, which is more guaranteed than a W. As well as it gives you wave clear at level 4 as you do 100% of its damage to all enemies around it. But seeing as Q has a very low cooldown, does 300 damage, you can clear the front and back wave very, very quickly. Level 7, you get spell power, so as long as you're going to poke someone, you're always going to be stacking up spell power. And then late game, level 16, you get piercing, and your Q will pierce through things, and it splashes as it pierces through. So you can pretty much clear a wave in 1 Q. So it's a very powerful build for wave clear. This Hanzo ends up going the Redemption W build. I usually don't recommend this build, and I'm not calling out this person in particular, but I usually don't recommend the W build for this map, and the reason why is because the Redemption build is based on getting a faster attack speed, and then W build is based off of clearing camps very quickly. Well, in this map, there's not a lot of camps you want to solo. And the reason I say that is because these camps, for instance, if you get these, usually it's at a time where your team is all available to get them, and I'm going to show you why that is. This top camp's the only one that essentially you need to solo every time. The bottom 2 camps, it's always going to be with groups of 4. So you don't need the extra camp damage, and the extra auto attacks aren't going to be that easy to land because their front line is very scary to stay close to. So it's just a very risky build, but again, I'm not trying to call out this person. They're a very good Hanzo player. I'm just simply saying that the builds could make a difference. So the early game, the focus for our team is to get to level 10, and the focus of the enemy team is to get early picks and to see if they can finish their quests early. Our job is to get to level 10 and, as safe as possible, get our quests done. As Redemption was picked up, we need auto attack safely, we need orbs safely, and we need to get Arcane Rift safely. So, number 1 goal should be to do a very, very safe questing as well as soaking lanes to try to hit level 10 first, or at least hit level 10 at a reasonable time, because this team comp will win at level 10. So it goes pretty well early on. Some abilities are missed. Thing thrown, like the throw from Garrosh and stuff. That's all missed. That's all good. So far it's going really well. What starts to happen though is with the lack of wave clear, it makes it hard to just like push a wave and then go in another area. So you end up getting people that are rotating without their entire team. You have people who are leaving lane while there's still soak available, and you don't have enough wave clear to clear anything. The hope was that Medivh's early wave clear with heroes in the lane is pretty good purely because you can queue into a wave and you could be resetting your queue, hitting the whole minion wave at the same time. But it gets challenging because you have to stay at a safe range. So it's not guaranteed wave clear. So essentially they need to be putting exactly this, a 1-1-3 lane until they hit a level where they have a little bit more wave clear, which is level 4 for Hanzo. Because he's going the redemption build, he's going to go this. That's a decent amount of wave clear, enough to where they can actually group as 4. We see some ganks and stuff. Again, we don't want to risk too much. Essentially, we win at level 10. We don't want to do too much and end up getting screwed. Quick portals help people get out. Shields, doing what Medivh needs to do. Medivh also needs to get his quest done. So just safe queues whenever there's a time. Again, like, I can go back just a second. I just want to show that after the throw's used on ETC, this is a time where Medivh can get like 3 or 4 queues off for free. So the throw is already used, and he watched the throw being used. So he's going to place a portal here, which is going to help ETC get out. Now, he could actually place both sides. He could place one side here and one side here, and then ETC gets immediately out and everyone's safe. But at the same time, which is another reason why if you're not going to use this talent, don't get it. It's just not even worth it. You want to instead be getting the increased movement speed, as he would have gotten to this fight a lot faster and still would have been able to get a portal to get everyone out, or to get ETC out. However, he got this talent, he needs to use it, and right here, 4 Q stacks, right? And that would he would have another Q available right afterwards. The abilities that have already been used are literally everything that would scare off a Medivh. 4 Q stacks. 3 Q stacks. I mean, that works. 2 Q stacks right there. Position, again, he's already used his throw. I mean, it's a little risky. Again, a safe Q stack, that's good. Now all their abilities are back up, so yeah, you should walk out of lane. So that's perfect. And again, it's just playing a little safe in the beginning, trying to get Q stacks. There's not enough vision. I wouldn't be here right now. But, I mean, safe Q stack. Can't complain. But, yeah, that's essentially why I didn't want to be there. So, you got to watch out for that. Like, if you don't... Against a Garrosh, if you don't have a tank in front of you, you're dead. Just always assume that you're dead. Don't even try. Like, let minions push down here. Because Garrosh can just go right back down here. And then even if you jump over here, he's just going to meet you over here and kill you. So you got to make sure that you know where Garrosh is at all time, and make sure that tank's in front of you. So this first one, Malfurion gets this for free, and because of the comps and how the fights are going right now, you don't want to commit too much into this fight. I would just try to see if you can get some safe stacks, which again, that's a pretty safe stack. Got a W off, which is nice. Got a portal off, which will save ETC as well. Everyone's way too low. You give it. It's not worth it. It's only 4 points. There's no point anyone should be staying right now. I would have Sonya go down, hit the portal. I would have Malfurion literally walk up this direction, because if he doesn't, Malfurion's going to walk down here to meet his team. He's going to get flipped. He's going to get silenced. He's going to get double silenced. He's going to get slowed. He's going to get stunned. There's nothing. And it looks like Malfurion's going for a root right now. There is no kill that could be followed up by a root right here. So it's just going to be a waste of mana, and it's going to put you in a position that's a little bit more dangerous. So, past this, soak, soak, soak. Simple as that. Try to hit level 10. A root, pointless root. staying too long. They're going to get their cooldowns back. They are so strong early game because they have so many tosses, so many stuns, so many slows that you don't want to be fighting these early fights. You want to get to your level 10 where it's press R to win. If they stay here, they are going to lose this fight. That wasn't good. Make sure to pay attention to that. No point in being there. No point in being there. Didn't have portal, had a shield, but shield wouldn't have saved anyone. Yep, can get a kill here. Or not. Oh, that was risky, but that was solid though. I'll give you that. Yeah. Yeah, I think if it was level 7, if he would have had, or no. Yeah, he had the familiar. Huh. That should have been a kill. He did everything correctly, though. Nothing he did was incorrect in that play. Yeah, I don't know. Here, it's just a little risky, but that's fine. He's just pretty low health. He's still getting experience, but I'd be very careful about that. Here's one of those times, don't try to go for camps because you're going to get yourself into positions that they can walk into. And what I mean by that is if you start trying to go for a camp and you get it all low, Stukov can just silence the whole thing and Garrosh can walk in and flip people. So when you're behind like this, don't go for camps. Soak, 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 go for level 10. Level 10, you guys win. It's as simple as that. So now they just got a camp for free because it was started and you can't do any follow-up for it. I mean, there's no point in going in now. They've got that for free. You can poke, but again, you're wasting soak, soak, you know, and they still got the camp. Okay, I'm gonna switch off of Medivh for a bit. I'm gonna watch the play of ETC for just a little bit. With this, the biggest thing is you want to save your abilities to make sure that you can, because that's, I mean, that did nothing, you know, it did nothing. I'm not going to say that Face Melt's a long, like, mana cost or anything, but your best bet is to just keep everyone alive, and then when they try to jump in, you can use your W to knock them away, like right there, and might have given some more time. Also, if you had Face Melt, I mean, you're silenced, so it doesn't really matter. But if you had Face Melt, you might have been able to knock Garrosh away before he got the flip. But it's over. So positioning is also extremely important. Like, we can go back just a little bit, and you again, like, you Face Melt this for no reason, which puts you in a weird position. You don't have your knockback anymore. So without your knockback, what are you doing in there? You know what I mean? Like, you can't knock them back. You can't stun them. There's nothing you can do here. So, what you should do is, if you have the ability to jump over the wall, you should be jumping over the wall right now. But you didn't get that. You got the knockback range and how much it knocks back. That's fine. It's a great talent. But you put yourself into an impossible situation by going up here. So, you only have a few choices. You could immediately slide through him. And that stun will last a second or 1.25 seconds, which means you could Q through him, and you can immediately walk down here and then in here. And if you're lucky, you'll get a root that saves you. But if you don't immediately Q, you're screwed. Because he can throw, he can Q, you could be stunned, silenced, silenced. So if you get thrown, you're dead. So you need to immediately use what you have. Alright, I'm going to go back to Hanzo for a little bit. Maybe Sonya. Now, I mean, here's the thing. Sonya's actually soloing against someone who beats Sonya. Tychus solo lane wins against Sonya pretty much every time. And it's because the bigger they are, does about 50% of Sonya's health in like 3 seconds. And he can do that every single time that Sonya walks up. And then when she's below 35% health, all he has to do is stay out of range of her spin and use Q and whittle her down and then throw a quarterback and just drop her. So Tychus should win this lane every time, and Sonya's doing very well. So I'm not watching Sonya too much. I might do it in another game. Again, here they shouldn't be fighting. They should just soak, like try their best to survive. Wait for ETC. They could even pass both of these, but they should be able to get the easy one. At least Sonya can get it. Gonna speed this up a little bit. Does that pretty safe. I'm okay with this. I will say one thing. If it was Furious Blow instead of Warpaint, you would have done the camp faster, but that's not a huge deal.
Well done.
Alright, you go down here. A little bit of hesitation on the channel, that's fine. This is a cluster area. You're both on the same talent tier. This is a pretty decent time to fight. And there's also pushing up here. It's just that it's going to be an awkward fight. So take it very slow and make sure that ETC doesn't die. I would recommend trying to get Sonya back around to this side so that you can all approach from like the same, or have Sonya go up from here. So you have some approaching from down here. You have some approaching from down here. This is a little risky, but it could work because, again, you don't want to be zoned by Stukov's silence, so if everyone can't come from the same direction. So this could work. Biggest thing right now, again, just get pokes off. As many pokes as you possibly can. Try not to stay in clusters, so I would recommend people walk over here and walk over here, and then you could be poking from all directions. It's a great route. This is a dead person, right? So there's a silence coming up here, or it should be coming up here, which means it's the only thing that's going to save him. They need to make a decision. He's already used his silence. He's already used his W. If they walk forward, and if ETC face melts in, that's going to stun both of them, or slides in. It's going to stun both of them, turning off the silence, and then ETC can knock them back into the group, and the group can kill them. This is a kill on one person, might even be a kill on another person. Garrosh will only be in range to throw ETC, and there's not going to be enough damage to follow up to kill ETC. Sonya will be able to come in at this point, and you can win the fight. They've already made too many mistakes. ETC needs to move forward, and then Q through. It's the only way to win this fight, and he walks away. We have portals. This is a great portal because it allows both teams to be able to get to either side. So if you want to have all four hop up here and get a kill, that's great. Or if you just want to save Sonya and have them all grouped up so we can do what I was saying earlier of one person going here, one person go over here, one person come down here, that will work. And they're all caught, and he's low. And Stukov's already used his trait. This would be an amazing fight to get people into right now. They're playing so safe, and that's a big challenge right now. You can't play safe. You have to be willing to go in. We've got an ETC over here, and there's enough time on the portal, everyone can follow up on it. So this might be something you want to do. The problem is there was no communication. So when I was helping them out with the draft, I can do that, but sadly, I was watching through a stream. I can't see what's happening until like 40 seconds later. So what I would have done is either called for them all to come back and to attack them from over on this side, or have them all go in and then to just jump on everyone. A face melt would split them up and just go from there. But because of the hesitation and the lack of communication, Sonya's going to die here unless she can hit that portal again. Which she does, gets a shield off. Again, now, we're back to the same part. Spread out and start hitting him from multiple angles. Tychus is dead here. If a root would have been landed. Just to interrupt that was pretty important. But at the same time, because the way that this map works, if you start winning at level 10, it doesn't matter if you lose these early game. So I would almost recommend now, like, because the fight's just been so awkward and it's not being played correctly, I would back up and I would start soak and just try to hit 10. Just give it. Especially since we just used our main initiate just to interrupt it. This is a cluster. Again, that's why I'm saying you need to spread out like what Hanzo's doing. You have to spread out and hit all these other areas. You don't want to be stuck in a cluster, especially against a Stukov. All he has to do is slow everyone, silence them in here, and you're all silenced and slow, followed by a traded E from Kel'Thas, and everyone's dead if you're in this little cluster. So this is really bad. Like this is just, it keeps getting worse, honestly. Medivh's in a good position because he can interrupt. So Medivh's doing very well right now. He can always continue interrupting. He can portal to get his team to all jump in from this direction if they want to, as well as he can still portal out so he can still get his shields off on his team. Right here he got thrown in. This is actually a really good fight because Garrosh has already used his throw. He's already used his stun. The team's starting to spread out a little bit. The only problem is that everyone's low health. However, the regrowths, there's 3 regrowths out, and there's a pretty decent-sized person here that you can land W's on. So, the lowest health person here has a regrowth, which means that they're going to get heals. Malfurion has a regrowth, so Malfurion will get heals, as well as ETC. So this is a perfect scenario for a fight. If this was not a perfect scenario, but this is the only scenario where this is going to turn into a fight. So, we'll see how it plays out. We need to get W's off on this person. Come on. Oh, that works. That's fair. Stukov just used his silence there. You can triple root people here. It's not going to lead to a kill, but it'll at least get a couple more stacks for... the root is followed up. That's good. I think the root was a little late, or else it would have gotten Stukov. Okay, now you definitely all need to leave. There is no reason you should be fighting. You should be going for 10 now. Give it. You've already lost someone. There's nothing you can do. I'm going to skip past this and go to 10. Everyone else who dies is just a waste. The enemies are 10. It should be just soak until 10. There's nothing else. Give boss. There's no point. I'm not even going to watch the fights right now. Okay, level 10. So, there's 2 people that should be initiating in these fights now. There's the ley line, which is a slow-moving projectile that's done by Medivh, as well as the arrow from Hanzo. So let me get the numbers right. Shouldn't be positioned there. You shouldn't be getting thrown right now. Every fight that you want to take now should be initiated by one or another ultimate ability. Because Leap was not picked up, there's literally only 2 abilities that should start any fight. Because they all have regular abilities that are graded initiation. We don't. So every single fight should only be started by a ley line or by an arrow. There should be nothing else. We have wave clear now. We can be grouping up as 4 and going from lane to lane as 4. The ETC should not be alone with Moshpit. Now that ETC's coming down, there's no reason he should come down this way. Go the safe way. Perfect. And let me go through. Yep, Tychus is beating Sonya. And at level 13, Tychus should definitely be winning because he'll have self-healing.
I cannot depart just yet.
They can stall until ETC, or until Medivh gets there. This is a bad position. The only person, essentially how this should work, right? There's one way that this should work. ETC needs to Q through him, and then W him back here, and everyone gets out safe. If anything else happens in this scenario, it's wasted. Alright? W works. That is okay.
Claim the altars in my name.
Vision here. And then maybe jump on this guy. Like, here's another, again. So, what can happen here is Hanzo needs to be preparing for an arrow. You can arrow into the KT, and it's pretty safe to assume where he's going to go, right? KT's going to go this direction because he's going to be avoiding Sonya at the same time as trying to go down here. KT's on a mount, which means if you were to R right now, you could R right here, and it would hit KT whether he goes up this way or whether he goes down this way. The R will land. So, R right here hits KT, Sonya kills KT, and you have a fight that's available. Or, you back up so that you get longer stun, you are in here, and you have ETC mosh pit. But you don't want to mosh pit until Medivh's there. Mosh pit with Medivh's very strong because the cooldown of Q is very low, so you can Q, Q, and Q all during a mosh pit and do a boatload of damage. Follow that up with an E from a root and a Twilight. You're definitely getting a couple kills here. So this situation, we have Leyline, we have Arrow, we have mosh pit, we have Twilight, we have everything. This should be a free win. Okay, there's 3 here. Mosh isn't in a spot where they can land anything, so they shouldn't be doing anything. ETC needs to be positioning to where he could follow up stuff like this. This is a scenario where I would like leap, just because you could leap in, you could follow up with an arrow, then ETC has time to get around there and get a mosh off followed by everyone. It would be a triple kill. But since they can't do that, same thing, could leap out just so that they could be safe. But we have Medivh who can put a shield, who can put portals, so we're all still safe in this fight. Alright, everyone's ready, right? So first thing that needs to happen by ETC. If he doesn't Q in here, Malfurion's dead. So he needs to do the Q just to save Malfurion. For Malfurion, you should not be positioned here. Like, you need to be close enough to do a W and a root, and that's it. Against a Garrosh, you should never be this close. And again, Garrosh didn't go this direction, or else he could have killed Malfurion. Again, here's an opportunity. This is it, right here. The arrow from here, hitting Garrosh, is the level 2, which means that it's a 1.25 second stun. Well, then what's that going to do? That's going to allow ETC to Q in and get another 1.25 second stun, followed by a mosh pit, which is a 3 second stun, followed by Qs from this, a root, a stun. I mean, this is it right here. This is game over. No arrow. No vision to prepare for another arrow. We're giving them more and more opportunity. Right here, this is a perfect leyline. Ready? You leyline here. He's going to hit him. They're going to try to run away from the leyline, either going up here, which means that they can kill them, or they're going to run from the leyline down here, which means that they're so split that you've got a guaranteed kill on this person or this person. Leyline or arrow here wins the game. Neither happens. The root was okay. It splits off their team. And your mana is still fine, so that's okay. But these ults is where it's really holding you guys back. And I don't mean to have a tone that's rough or anything. I know each of you guys are good players. The problem is just this. If you're gonna pick these ults, you need to be willing to use them. You need to be willing to abuse how strong these ultimate abilities are. So, the longer you wait, the more opportunity, because they have regular abilities that are disruptive. You only have ultimate abilities that are disruptive. Call it out. Say, arrow incoming, Kael'thas. Arrow incoming, Garrosh. Arrow, ping a couple times. Arrow going this way. They were all in voice comms. Leyline, you don't even really need to call out Leyline because it's such a long stun. Leyline, you just cast it, right? Leyline on these two people, splits these guys up. Then Leyline, again, Leyline's easy to follow up on, right? So, Leyline, ETC gets in position, 2 people are dead, guaranteed. I can't imagine we lose this fight. Ends up getting silenced. Barely saves himself. And he dies. Now we're just in a cluster of a situation. We got 2 kills for 1. But we're going to lose another one here. Unless we can get some really lucky W's off. But yeah, I mean, Leyline, was it even used at any point? It looks like it might have been tried to be used and got interrupted. So back to Hanzo. Arrow's still up. Is Mosh up? Mosh is up. Twilight's up. I mean, it's just frustrating. This is the stuff that, like, you want to practice these team comps, but when you practice it, don't be scared. Use everything. Find out what works and what doesn't work. Like, if you're going to be practicing these team comps, you need to test everything. You can't use these abilities defensively. You need to actually really go in on it, because the longer these fights go, the more likely they're going to win. They have stuns in their regular abilities, which will make it easy for them to win these fights. Okay, what are we going in for? It's a 3v3. We still have an arrow. We still have Mosh Pit. We still have Twilight Dream. Alright? Their tank is dead. So Malfurion needs to heal himself and start making himself over here. And they need to prepare for something. Malfurion's here. Malfurion needs to get a lot closer, because this is where the fight's going to happen, right? We're going to wait for a cluster and vision, so you can get this as well as the bush. So toss your vision arrow here so you can get vision on this and the bush. And what's going to need to happen? There's a very specific way this needs to play out, right? So Hanzo needs to go down here and act like he's channeling. Malfurion needs to go over here, out of vision sight, out of vision. And then we need ETC to stay in this little cluster area. And the second that they go through this cluster or this cluster, an arrow should go, followed by a Mosh Pit, followed by a Twilight Dream. It's okay to have Malfurion do this just because the healing's already out, and this can still work, because the arrow can still go off, and the Mosh Pit, followed by walking up, rooting, Twilight Dreaming, still a kill. They're all split right now. Stop channeling, alright? Because you can get kills. If you walk directly up here, you can root here. Hanzo can jump over, W, Q. He's dead. And then you can fight the two that are left. And then you can go and channel a 3v2. You know what I mean? You don't need to keep channeling. You end up getting interrupted. Stukov's still in a terrible position, but don't ever Q over. Just body block for a while. You don't need to be on this side of him. You need to be on this side of him. Don't go for the channel again. They're going to be able to interrupt. The Hanzo ultimate is so bad at melee range because it only stuns for half a second and does no damage. I know you needed to do it to save yourself, but you didn't need to be positioned there, as well as Malfurion didn't need to be positioned there. Okay, another thing with ETC is you need to be anchoring this bush so that if he tries to come in again, you could have just queued past him, W'd him into your team, and one Hanzo arrow kills him. Okay, now this is bad. They're going to be about dead, and you're going to have to walk through all this to get back. You need to just give it. It's already done. It's over. Your cooldowns are up. It's over. Now, you did stun him. You could immediately mosh, but you're going to be immediately interrupted. So there's no point. Get out. Get out. Get out. No, that was bad. No, just get out. Everyone get out. Just give it. There's no point now. They're all up. There's multiple mistakes that were made. We're skipping. We're going later. Wait until everyone's up again. Next objective. And we'll go from there. Sonya's killing it in the solo lane because she's alone. Here's the thing. Yeah, pop Wrath and just take everything. You know? They're not coming back for you. They're taking bottom. Top's mostly irrelevant, honestly. Because you get the double camp pressure from bottom. And you only get a single camp pressure from top. But still, like, own it. Because there's nothing you can do down here. Try to just get your team some experience. Try to take that. Yeah, you're good. That's all you can do. But you should be preparing for a fight, right? There's a single altar. They are going to be clustered in either this place, this place, this place, So you should be setting up for a fight. And you should be getting ready. I mean, Medivh should have vision on all this. Like right now, all of this. Ignore bottom, screw top, group up, and have vision. Between Medivh and Hanzo, this entire thing should be completely lit up right now. Medivh should be sitting on this so that we know that they're doing their camp. We already know they're doing their camp. But we want to know their health bars. We want to know what abilities they're using. We want to see if they sit in this bush and it takes longer to do the camp. We want them to be disrupted because as of right now, Medivh's doing nothing right here. What? I mean, get a fountain. That's good. Heading over to get vision. That's perfect. Okay. Screw this. You're not going to be able to get 16. I get the soak's important, but you're in a team comp where your tank needs to be up here. Everyone needs to be ready to follow up on a Hanzo arrow. And Hanzo needs to be in a position where the arrow gets the longest distance, as well as the trait can immediately jump him over to where he's ready to fight. So Hanzo should be preparing like here or right here for this arrow. And then he could flip over here and join the fight, or flip over here and join the fight. So Hanzo should be sitting here or here, dropping a vision arrow right about here to get the bush, as well as to get that bush. Medivh should be following around their Garrosh, as well as maybe their backline. And the second that they cluster up, that arrow should go immediately, or a ley line. And these two people need to be there with the team. You're not going to get 16, so you're never going to be on the same talent tier. And otherwise, this fight's going to be awkward. So this is going to take too long to clear. There's only 4 seconds left before this objective spawns. Get grouped up. Get prepared for a fight. Vision arrow. Here. You need this bush and this bush with vision. Medivh can worry about up here. Alright? Because this isn't even getting up here. Once this Tychus moves over here, you've already lost vision. You don't know where Tychus is anymore. Just interrupt with a W for Hanzo. And you are positioned exactly where you need to be positioned, right? You position here so that you can Hanzo arrow up here and you can jump over and join your team. So, these two need to get down here. Malfuri needs to get right about here. And once they cluster, it's game. Clustered. Arrow hits him, or he dodges and it hits them. If it hits him, it hits Stukov. Alright. We need vision. Medivh should be over here. Like we need vision for the Hanzo arrow. Here's the greatest part about this, right? So, firstly, you should have been... Sonya should have been down with ETC when ETC came down. But here's the greatest part about this fight. You ready? Hanzo can interrupt for years by simply tossing a W here. It's going to bounce from here up to here, and it's going to hit everything, okay? Everyone that's on this. So Hanzo can interrupt forever. So the team has so long to prepare for the perfect fight. Sonya, go over here, hit the fountain, mount up, get back over here, and then come in from down here. Medivh, like, that, you don't... She's fine. Or she's dead. I mean... But I don't think you can get up. You don't have the movement speed. He's faster than you are. So either he's going to get the kill, or she's dead. Yeah, perfect. We need vision for a Hanzo arrow. We need vision for a Hanzo arrow. Or you need to be setting up for a ley line. But you can only ley line if Hanzo has vision. Now, Hanzo has vision now. Hanzo, again, here. Toss the thing. And you can't let them initiate. If they initiate, you're screwed. You have to be the one to initiate. It's a good portal. Sonya should have walked around over here or had a portal to get Sonya back into the fight. Is this needed? Who could kill ETC here? Silence. He's not dead yet. Throws and stuns are already done. He gets taunted. They're going to try to kill Sonya. He's fine. He doesn't need a portal. Get a portal for Sonya. Okay. If you get... Okay, so this is a ley line time, right? So this is what's going to happen. So arrow's not going to work here. This is where you want a ley line because it lasts so long. Ley line here. And then ETC or KT might go up this way to dodge it. You get the Garrosh at least. Or you can... I don't know. I mean, the ley line doesn't really work. Okay, yeah. Ley line. Boom. Right there. GG. They have two directions they can go, right? They have three. They can go this way. They can go up. Or they can go this way. A ley line through here blocks this way and this way. So they have to go back this way. But Garrosh is guaranteed ley lined. So then however you want to follow up Garrosh, that's up to you guys. Okay, another amazing scenario. This is what you do. You ready? You drop a root here. Oh, the root was already used. Oh, that's crap. Normally what you do is you drop a root here. Malfurion starts channeling. You ley line up there, and both of these people jump on Garrosh. The ley line's going to slowly move up. They're all going to move over this direction. You get it? And you might, if not, this is what happens. You ready? Ley line hits. It hits all of them. ETC gets in position. It's a kill on all of them. Here's another opportunity. This one's a little bit riskier. Ready? Malfurion starts heading up here. Hanzo jumps over here. Arrows here. Follows up by a mosh pit. And then a little bit of follow-up. Not too much, but... I mean, like, there's still a lot of things you can do. That was not an arrow, though. Like, it's again, these small arrows that are 0.5 seconds. You can't do these. They're useless. And now that you've lost the arrow... all you have left is a ley line combo. So we can look for a ley line. Like, now you guys can't play aggressive. This is all bad now. And ley line, okay. You ready? Mosh pit now. It's your only opportunity. Because if you wait too long, he's going to have two things to interrupt you. He's going to have something to interrupt you. But if you mosh pit now, you're going to get him, and then you'll hit him. It probably won't last long enough to get Tychus. But you could at least mosh pit, and you could start getting some Qs off, some damage off, maybe at least scare him away. You don't have the Twilight to follow up because this was more important, I guess. Took too long. There's the hesitation. Okay, the objective's done. Reset. Take out bot. Soak top. Alright, I'm going to speed this up. Wait till the next objective. Stop saying mid for so long. You need to clear bot out. You need one person soaking top. There's a lot of minions up here. Okay, that works. Okay, next objective. So this is what's going to happen, right? If they get 2, they win the game. Because it's 5 damage, 5 damage. No, they don't win the game. They would need to get 2 in a boss. Or 2 in... Oh, there's still one of these things firing. So yeah, they only need to get... They get 2. Or they get 1 in a boss. So, what needs to happen here? This is extremely important. You need to ignore this bottom one. And you need to go for both of these. That's the only way to win. Both of these and then boss. But there's good news. This is a clustered area. This is a clustered area. As well as these areas are very clustered. Which means a Hanzo arrow or a ley line is GG. Help clear. And then get in position. We need vision. Like hardcore. Vision from Medivh needs to be like nuts all in this area. And honestly, I would recommend having everyone here. And just going nuts. Because you need wombos. You need to catch people as they're rotating. One enemy is going to get this. That's 5 damage guaranteed. You need to be positioning to where you can get kills. An ETC, a lone ETC down here, useless. Go up here where you can actually have your team follow up. Going for the insta-cap's okay, because then you can focus on this. But I would recommend... Yeah, I mean, Sonya doesn't have leap, so it probably is the best to have Sonya with it, because she can't follow up a wombo combo. Need to get down here, Hanzo. Medivh should not be there. ETC should not be there. Everyone needs to group and try to wombo.
The altars have risen. Activate them now.
It's great interrupts. Okay. What do you want to do? They're going to be clustered down here. It's going to be the perfect fight. They don't have their tank. Their tank is down here. Screw this guy. Arrow here. Go in. Is Mosh available? Mosh is in 5 seconds. Crap. Still. Arrow. Have him Q down. W them up. Follow up with it. Ignore Tychus. It's a good route. Okay, even better. There's 3 here. And what's the timer on the 2 seconds? That means Arrow, Q, Mosh, Medivh kills them all. With help from Hanzo and Twilight. Okay. They're getting clustered again. Clustered 2.0. And Stukov's silence is down. Alright, so what do you... I mean, you could even position here and you could leyline right up there. How do you want to win this game? Clustered. Arrow. Arrow. Where's the range indicator? Can't see it? Really? Oh, that sucks. Arrow. If you arrow right here, you win the game. Their interrupts are already used. You arrow here, you Q in, you R. Stukov's going to be the only one outside of it, but his abilities are already down. Or, arrow there, you hit everyone. Arrow there, you hit everyone. There we go, the ley line goes in. This is it. Game over. You guys just won the team fight. Right? So this is how you win the team fight, right? 3 seconds. They're all in there. So everyone just clusters up. You have the Mosh go off. You have the Twilight go off. Q's from Medivh. Psh, 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 right? W, Q, everything. G, G. You won this objective. You got the boss. You can go take down bottom. You can go take this. You could get that. You could bring it in. You won the team fight. Alright. Mosh it. Have Sonya go over here and zone out Tychus so that he can't interrupt. Tychus even got even better. Was that a Q? That was a Q. Yeah, you don't need to Q. It's just a waste. Position for Twilight. Twilight's 640 damage right now. How much health does Stukov have? 1300. You do half of Stukov's health in a single attack? Yeah. Yes, please. Okay. Let me double check that. Hold on. He might be full health. Okay, he has 2300 health. Still, fourth of his health? Why not? You need to Twilight this. You need to root this. She needs to spin to win. Or zone Tychus. If she walks over here, followed by maybe an arrow or something, Tychus is dead. Twilight, all that. This is it. There's no way you can lose this fight. The Q instead of the mosh pit. You queued people that were already locked down instead of just activating mosh pit. The root goes off and hits nobody. The Qs go for nobody, and nobody zones Tychus. I mean, it's a good Twilight, but guys, I'm going to end this off. It's 50 minutes. Oh, you don't need to go into the rest of this game. It clearly ends the next 50 seconds. So, here's the thing. When you're going to go with this type of comp, which is a press R to win comp, you have to play with the comp, and you have to call it out. Twilight or Leyline Seal went out. ETC could have won that right there. That was purely on ETC. But earlier, the hesitation from Hanzo was costing them team fight wins down there. So ETC could have won the fight up here. Hanzo could have won the fight down here. Medivh should have been stacking more safe without needing to worry about any of this, as well as Medivh's had ley lines that could have gone off a lot earlier. The Twilights have been essentially non-existent. So guys, if you have to, start practicing more in unranked and play crazier. Just throw arrows out. See what works. Because when you play Team League and ranked, I feel like a lot of people are too worried about their rank and they're playing too safe. Nobody wants to use their ultimate ability because if they miss, they're going to feel like an idiot and they're going to lose rank. But we need to have these being used because as of right now, it's all of this stuff is just not working. So practice in unranked for a while. Practice just wombo comboing stuff and getting everything going. And then once you get used to landing these wombo combos over and over and over and over, get back into Team League and start using against teams that know what they're doing. The enemy team was making a ton of mistakes too. They were wasting their abilities so fast, and it's like, but there just wasn't anyone punishing them. So that's really what you need to work on is a little bit more call-outs. If you're going to play a team comp that's based on R, you have to be confident in using them. You can't just wait for everyone else to use it because same with Mosh, like their entire team has interrupts. Interrupt with his W, interrupt with his W, his Q, interrupt with his E, interrupt with his E, interrupt with, and his R, interrupt with his Q, his E, and his R. Do you kind of see? You can't let Mosh Pit go first. You have to do the ley line or the arrow first, followed by Mosh Pit, and there were like 8 times that this could have worked. So, I'm gonna end this video off. Hopefully this helped out a little bit, and we can kind of go from there. I don't mean to have like a weird tone. This was a perfect team comp, and it's against like plat and diamond players. Like all these people are like plat and diamond. Like they should not have won this game. It was just a hesitation. All of you guys are really good players, but you all hesitated way too much. So work on the hesitation a little bit, and if you have to go in unranked and practice all these wombo combos for a bit, do that. And if not, just don't care about ranked. I mean, Team League already doesn't really matter that much. You guys are trying to go into NGS. Use Team League as your throw everything and don't care about ranked. You know what I mean? Just throw all your abilities, test out what works, test out what doesn't work. So I don't know when I'm going to upload this video. It'll probably pop up maybe on the 1st, but we'll see. Either way, if you have anything else that you want to add, you can add it in the comments below. Remember, a lot of these players are actually really good players. I just think that they were hesitating a bit. And they're also playing with people that aren't normally on their team. 3 of them are part of an NGS team, and they're playing with 2 subs right now. So they're not used to playing with each other. They don't know the skill levels of the other people on the team. But I did just kind of want to share this game and point out a few things that could have been changed, because ultimately the draft was way better on our team than it was the enemy team. The skill levels are way higher on our team than the enemy team. It was just the hesitation. And honestly, it was a lack of communication too. Like I was in the voice chats and there was like almost no call outs the entire game. So work on that. Like I can't always be in the chat when you're doing games. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm going to end this off. If you guys like this style, where I'm working on looking at teams and actually working on coaching an entire team, I could definitely do more videos like this, but they do get kind of long. So, yeah.